The number of irate Italians in Italy was growing exponentially just after someone asked to put cheese on their fish. This is a true story. This happened in Britain. You can look it up, read it. Don't do that. Fun fact, if you're ever in Italy, you should go, it's very nice. And you're given food, you eat it as it's presented to you. They will kick you out of the country if you ask for ketchup. Rightly so. Anywho, the number can be modeled by that function, boop, where x is the number of days since the person asked, and I is the number of Italians in millions. Okay. We definitely need a calculator here, which I don't have loaded up. So I will load up my calculator. I don't know what screen it's going to pop in on. It's killing me. Oh, it's on that screen. All right. Oh, no. Okay. All right, so how many Italians were upset the very first week? Well, since X is in days, how do we figure out the number that were upset the first week? Hopefully you said plug in 7, which is the... So I'm going to teach you some calculator tricks here, because you should already be familiar with plugging in 7 into a function. What we're going to do is we're going to go to y equals... Don't worry about that. That's for something else. Not your class. I'm going to clear that out. And we're going to type this function in. So I'm going to hit 1.04. On your calculator, you will notice there are 2 E's. There's an E on the left above the LN button. It says e to the x. And there's an E on the right above the division sign. I have never in my life used the one above the division sign. To me, it makes no sense. We're going to use the one on the left. So I'm going to hit second ln. And on this style of calculator, notice it makes a pretty little box. And I can type in the rest, 0.23x. Now, if you don't have the newer style of calculator, that's fine. Let me show you real quick what the older style would have looked like. Right there. Oh, that's nice. I didn't have to retype it. When you hit the e to the x key, it would make an e caret and a left parenthesis. And you need to close off technically that left parenthesis with a right parenthesis. I'm going to go back to the other mode. Boop. Okay. We're going to make the calculator do the heavy lifting there because, again, as you know, all we need to do is plug in 7. And let me make sure that I have this on always on front. So we need to find, in this case, I of 7. Well, let's make the calculator do that. If you want to see what it looks like, it would look like 1.04 e to the 0.23 times 7. Approximation here. To make the calculator do that, we're going to do second quit to get back to the main screen. And to make it plug in 7, you're going to hit vars, y vars, hit enter on function, and we put our function into y1. And to say evaluated at 7, just like you would say f of 7, or in this case I of 7, we'll say y1 of 7, so left parentheses 7, right parentheses. Now I have my calculator rounding to 3 places. I'm going to turn that off. I'm just going to put it back to float. Get a lot of more decimals there. Now on the test, I would tell you how far to round. Let's go to one place here. So you would say 5.2 million. And then in part B, how many were irate on the 8th day? So just the 8th day. So part A is telling us the first 7 days. How do we figure out just the 8th day? Well, that would technically be total number after 8 days minus the total number after 7 days. Because the total number after 7 days is built into the number after 8 days. Again, we can have the calculator do the heavy lifting. Vars, y vars, function 1, left parenthesis 8, minus, Same deal, vars, y var 1, 7. Again, if we went to one decimal place, approximately 1.3 million extra Italians were upset on the 8th day. Great. During which day will there be 12 million irate Italians? Well, we now know the total number we want. We want 12, but we don't know which day. Remember, x is the number of days. In our function, x is in the exponent. At this stage of the class, we do not know how to solve for something in the exponent up later in this chapter. So the equation we want to solve is 12 equals 1.04 e to 0.23x. Solve for this, what we're going to do is we're going to use our calculator. We're going to go to y equals. We already have the function in y1. We're going to put the other side of the equation, namely 12, in for y2. Now we have to play with the window because this is all trial and error, to be very honest with you. We're going to hit window. And let's say, well, we can't have a negative x because the woman in the story didn't ask for cheese on her fish yet. So we'll start at top. And we know after 8 days, we only had about like 6 million. So let's just go for 2 weeks. Let's say 14 days. Again, we might have to come back and change this. And we'll scale it by 1. And as far as the y's are concerned, we need to include the number 12 somehow. So let's just say 0 to 20. Count by 2. So the y's are easier because we know we need to include 12. It's the x's we don't know. I mean, we could put 5,000, but I think that's greatly overkill. So we'll try 14. We might have to try it again. So let's hit graph. We'll see our exponent. Well, that graphs so quickly. I don't know why. We'll see the exponential in blue, and we'll see the line y equals 12 in red. If they don't intersect in the window, that means we did not pick the correct window. We'd have to change the x values, but we have an intersection, so that's great. So to find the point of intersection, we're going to go second calc. Intersect is number 5. And the calculator asks us for 3 things. The first thing is to identify the first curve. Well, we only have 2 curves. We have a y1 and a y2. So just hit enter on y1. And then it says second curve. Again, we only have 2 curves. Hit enter. And then it says guess. Move your cursor to where you're close to where they overlap. This is not the answer yet. You have to hit enter. So notice about 10.6. Do not round to 11 because that puts it in the next day. So you would just say during 10th day. If we wanted to, we would use the decimal, the 0.633417, yada yada, to figure out what hour of the 10th day, what minute, what second. We're not going to do that. Just say during, and that's good to go.